Hi guys, this is Joe from Prep Agent, and today I'm doing the questions of the week. Remember, these questions are pulled from our Facebook group, so make sure you join our Facebook group. It's really helpful. A lot of people support each other. Just look up Prep Agent Real Estate Exam Study Group, and I'm sure you will find it there. So, let's get to the questions. First one, can you sublet? So, this question is referring to the fact that a lot of people get confused about subletting because it is allowed. And a lot of people think, well, no, you can't allow it. Whenever I try and sublet, my landlord says I can't, but that is because it is written in the contract. So you can sublet unless otherwise designated in the contract. And usually they designate it. When you sign a standard lease agreement, it will usually state that no subletting is allowed without permission of the landlord. So I hope that helps answer that one. Okay, the second one. An option, is that a unilateral contract or bilateral? An option is a unilateral contract. By definition of the word option means you don't have to do something. And remember, bilateral means both people makes a promise. Unilateral, only one makes a promise. So with an option, only one party is promising to do anything. The other party has an option. For example, with a lease option, you're going to rent the property with the option to purchase at a later date. But you don't have to purchase it at that later date. Now, in order to have that option, you may have put down some type of consideration, either in form of just putting money straight up, or just paying more in rent every month. Either way, if you don't exercise that option, you would lose that money. However, that is your option. Maybe a better deal came along and makes it worth it to lose that money. So an option contract in all forms, whether it's a listing option, a lease option, whatever it may be, is a unilateral contract. Unilateral. Tough word to say a million times. Okay, next one. The difference between agency by estoppel and agency by ratification. Great question. That one does get a little confusing. So essentially, estoppel just means that the principal causes a third party, the principal meaning the client, causes a third party to believe that someone's acting as their agent. That's agency by estoppel. When you're convincing a third party, somebody who's not necessarily directly involved with the client and the agent, if they convince somebody that there's an agent, that's agency by estoppel. Ratification is just when somebody's actions makes them an agent. So if I act as your agent, meaning if your house is there and I put a for sale sign in the front yard and you're like, what are you doing? Why are you putting a for sale? You're not my agent. And then I say, I got you a $5 million offer. And you're like, ooh, can I bring you lemonade? That would be agency by ratification. You did not initially approve my actions, but you liked what I was doing. Then I could prove that you are okay with what I'm doing. And now we have agency by ratification. I mean, both these methods are not exactly the best way to form agency. These methods basically would come up in a court of law. Obviously, in real estate, you want to get a contract signed and have it clear as possible what everybody's role is, not just kind of have agencies formed by assumptions and actions. So that's Joe from Prep Agent. Well, that's the questions. I'm Joe from Prep Agent, and those are the questions of the week. Have a great day, guys. And remember, just keep using our Facebook group, and I'll pull some questions from there that I think can help everybody pass the real estate exam. Bye.